Hello, I'm Scott Liddicoat and an author of many of the lessons on the CREATE Center for Renewable Energy Advanced Technological Education website. In this short video, I'm going to guide you through the vital features of most of the lessons in our collection of energy teaching materials. You're already on the CREATE website. You probably already know createenergy.org is our URL. To get to our lessons, you may click on Resources to get the pull-down menu and click where it says Teaching Materials. Or you may simply click on View Teaching Materials on our splash page. Once you click, you'll find this paragraph, a portion of which I'll take a moment to review with you. Our renewable energy lessons are designed for community college, technical college, and high school use. Teachers are welcome to modify them for their specific circumstances. Teaching materials include instructor guides, student handouts, answer keys, and additional resources for each of the lessons explored in the Solar Institutes. Documentation is also provided for each lesson referencing the U.S. Department of Energy literacy standards and the Next Generation Science standards. Most documents are provided in both Adobe PDF format to preserve the original formatting and in Microsoft Word format to allow easy editing and customization by teachers for their specific application. Much more on that shortly. Below this paragraph, we have 5 lesson categories to choose from. Click on a category and go to those lessons, or you may simply scroll down further to the individual lessons. Here's what you see when you come across a lesson. Of course, there's a title, a descriptive picture. There will be an icon in the bottom right of the picture. This indicates the group that sponsored the lesson. We have sharing arrangements with several quality energy education groups. There's a thumbnail description of the lesson and menu bars for student and instructor materials. When you click on an instructor's guide for the first time, you'll be required to provide us with some minimal identifying information. This information is used for general website traffic tracking only. It is not shared outside the website in any way. Having given it, you won't find your inbox littered with promotions or other communications. After signing up, you'll be provided a password which allows you to access our instructor guides and answer keys. Before going into the instructor materials, let's first look at the student materials. To repeat, our documents are available as PDFs or in Word. Your classroom is different than every other classroom around, and you may want to alter the lesson. Our lessons are provided in Microsoft Word format to allow you to easily edit them. We want you to adapt, remix, transform, build upon, and customize our materials within our copyright, which I'll review in a moment. Our lessons, all of our materials, are formatted in Word for ease of translation into Google Doc format. We recognize that many of our teachers are restricted to Google Docs or simply want to use them regularly. If our Word documents do not translate perfectly into Google Docs, they should translate without loss of features and functions, and they should be real easy to clean up. Looking at an example student lesson document, you see what you'll always see at the front of each of our documents, our copyright declaration. You're free not only to customize our work to fit your situation, you're welcome to share our work, provided you give appropriate credit to us and use our same copyright if changes were made, and you do not attempt to make money from our materials. The copyright page is intended to be deleted. Students performing the lesson don't need to read it. What's more, some of the lessons require it, so that certain pages strategically wind up side by side. Each of our lessons can be used in a face-to-face setting. Each one can be used in a hybrid setting, and many of our lessons can be used fully online. Student lessons can be used digitally or in hard copy. At the top of each student lesson is a nameplate. a place for students to place identifying information. We'll have our create or other attribution, our copyright symbol. Some duplicating services require copyright confirmation before photocopying materials. Our lesson title will be followed by some kind of introduction for every lesson. Following that will be a procedure if the lesson is a laboratory or the lesson itself. There will be lesson summary questions at the end of the student document, a great place to subtract or add questions to suit your students and your objectives. And we hope you can see we try to make the lessons as visually attractive as possible. Reviewing the instructor material. Nearly all of the lessons have an instructor's guide and answer key. Like this one, some lessons will have a supporting PowerPoint or perhaps a supporting video. Each lesson has a listing of all of the potential next-generation science standards and energy literacy standards that might be applied to it. Opening an instructor's guide, we have the symbolic reminder of our copyright here, the title of the lesson at the top, the grade level we're aiming for, and an estimate of the length of time it should take to teach the lesson. We will provide some plain spoken learning objectives and the materials needed to teach the activity. Following that will be your introduction to the activity. It might not always say introduction, depending on the complexity of the lesson, but there will be teaching recommendations, suggestions, and requirements, do's and don'ts, and more. There will be answer keys, answers to the questions embedded in the lesson or provided at the end. If data collection is part of the lesson, model expected data is probably provided as well. As I hope you've seen, we've tried to make these lessons, activities, and labs as up-to-date, versatile, foolproof, and easy for you to use as possible. In conclusion, if you find a mistake in one of the lessons, you have a solid idea for improvement. You'd like to talk about a lesson, how to use it, adapt it, or just have general questions about it. Or you have a suggestion for a new lesson. Please take the time to contact me, Scott Liddicoat, at this email. We're confident you and your students will find these lessons both easy and enjoyable to use.